Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.
We've got Canada in white on the right side of your screen, and they will be pulling to Team USA in black. This is a highly anticipated rematch of these two teams. The last time they saw each other at a Worlds game was 2012 in Sakai, Japan. It was a close game. US came out on top, pulling it out by just a few points. So they are the reigning world champions as they start off here on offense. Canada looking to make a statement. And they will get it right away. An errant throw from Arlie Sang to Kath Radcliffe is going to give Canada a short field to work with. It's Berkowitz picking up. Oh, but that's a lovely little help-D there from Baker. And now she lets one fly deep into the end zone. And that is a huge hold for Team USA after a quick little bit of nerves on the first few passes. Lovely little bit to work the disc all the way down, letting the disc fly. That's number 23, reeling in America's first goal. They're up over Canada 1-0. We've got rosters on the way, so we'll be doing play-by-play as best we can with what we know until then. But David, what do you think about quick first two turnovers right out of the gate?
I think it's just a bit of nerves. Not quite sure how they're going to play against each other, checking out, feeling out each other's defenses. But USA able to take that lovely deep shot and confirm their position in this game early on. Well, it's 1-0.
So it's a really nice day out here at the Watford Football Club pitches. Sunny, little bit of clouds. We've got wind blowing a little bit left to right across your stream. And that's US with the pull, running down on defense. Canada will center. Can't get the look she wants, has to reset. Now finds someone in the middle of the pitch. Good pressure here for the Americans. Oh, Crystal Davis looking for the poach, but well hung on by number 19 for Canada. Swinging wide and a lefty flick. But that's going to be short, diving to the pitch. And not a clean hold so far for Canada's first offensive point. US looking for their first look at a break. Upwind, tried to slot one over the shoulder for Davis, but picked off. And the game advisors are signaling that there's a stoppage of play. None of the players have recognized. Looks like there's going to be a stall called all the way back. Either way, it's probably going to be a turnover unless the American thrower is contesting the stall, thinks maybe that there was a fast count happening. But even if it was contested, that pass was not completed, so it should remain a turnover further in the backfield for Canada. Slips, but holds onto the disc. Nice quick movement now from Canada. But can't complete on the final pass into the end zone. Americans, yet again, with 70 yards to go, looking for a break very early. in this finals game here at London. Oh, and again, just miscommunication. Giving a short field to Canada. They're right on the goal line. And that lefty looking again, and this time that will work. It's number 33 for Canada, catching the disc over the bidding defender. That's Strotsky-Bosvert at the goal. 1-1. Canada holds their O point after a little bit of sloppiness, but able to create some pressure for the Americans on their own goal line, get their short field turnovers, and punch it in.
Let's just see how the Canadian women have progressed in the tournament. Obviously, yesterday we had a big rain delay, so no games were played for this division. But in the pools and power pools, Canadian women were very, very rarely pressured. The best team to come up to them was the Australian or Japanese, both of which went 15-11. And for Team USA, who I'll just pull up on my screen, a very similar route. In fact, first off taking a bagel against the French Women's Masters, and again being pushed most by New Zealand and Japan.
Alicia White now with the disc for USA, back to Ambler in the middle, and swinging out wide. Nice quick movement from the Americans as Ambler gets up. But doesn't like what she looks, trying to find a reset. Finds White. Americans not able to find a lot of continuations off of their resets. High stall for Salvia. Oh, and a laying out Gwen Ambler. Looks like she makes the catch, calls the injury, doesn't let go of the disc until everyone knows that she's called the injury. Probably just a little bit shaken up from that huge bid to save possession for the Americans. Gwen Ambler, a name that everyone who knows anything about women's ultimate should be familiar with. She's an incredible force for the women's ultimate community in the States. And she's a captain of this American squad here. It's her first time playing in the Masters division. She won gold in 2014 in Lecco with her club team Riot. The Americans now knocking on the doorstep. Good pressure, high stall. Oh, and there's frustration about what the handlers should have been doing. Canada, their first chance for a break.
Yeah, we could just see there the handler was signaling to her field, you're all crossing over, you need more space. And right there, the Canadians frustrating the Americans into making that rushed offensive look.
Disc now on the far side with number 20 for Canada. Oh, and a slip, but number 1 is there to recover, and she immediately lets loose a huck. There was no one going. I think looking perhaps to play a little bit of field position from Canada's D-line playing offense. Sometimes teams will just shoot deep immediately, try to get the turn, try to do what they do best, which is play defense. That's Baker looking for Fontenette. Finds her on the sideline. Again, can't get the reset. Canadians making it really tough. Pressure continues. And now they get a swing across. Alicia White relieving some pressure. But no continues downfield. Pretty stagnant from this O-line. Oh, going for kind of a dangerous look, but it works off, and now Fontenette shooting deep for White. And she can't go up with the contact, but oh, that was number 6 who was there to pick up the garbage, and I think just a little rushed. Wanted to send White again too far. So second opportunity for Canada's D-line to find a break here. going to have a good matchup going on between number 77, Roderick for Canada, Dominique Fontenette, number 17 for the States. Dom is still is a legend of the sport. She's probably has more accolades to her name than any player at this entire tournament. And Roderick, a really fabulous defender out of Toronto, playing with the club team Capitals. Incredibly speedy, incredibly explosive. Excited to see that throughout this game. Canadians here on the near sideline here. And we find Roderick, gets a toe in. Very athletic play. And she shoots up line. Finding Berkowitz, who shoots across the field. And that's Isabelle Asa-Coallier running onto the end of that. And just like that, the Canadians have a break back. Nice job to go the full 70 yards. And I like the way they used the break space there. The defender had over-pursued to that open side off the upline cut, exposing that space. Really nice disc out in front of her receiver where she can get it and the defense can't close. That brings us to twos after a pair of holds and a pair of breaks. So it looks like we've got a good game going here, David. What are your initial thoughts?
I think Canada are doing a very good job of closing down the upfield cutters. The USA have seemed very stagnant, and Canada are taking advantage of that. I think their next choice will be how to then stop them resetting and really close down the offense so that they can then take advantage and get a break.
So we apologize. We were a little bit ahead of ourselves. The score is just 2-1, Canada over the U.S. And a little bit of rain is starting to come down now as a cloud has hovered over Watford football complex. Americans now moving quickly. Kath Radcliffe up the field, wanted the deep shot, faked it. Oh, can't hit VY Chow underneath. But a better job swinging it around this time, out to Baker. Finds LaRoche on the far sideline. Oh, and now back to Chow. And Stern will shoot forward. That's Baker having to make the incredibly athletic play to get on top of the disc, but she does it. Shooting around, Americans hovering outside this end zone. Can't quite find a window, but Baker's looking to break it open with her forehand, and she does. She's connecting with VY Chow for that second American score to take us to 2-2 in this women's Masters Championship final game. So that was Julie Baker who threw that assist for the USA after she made that incredibly athletic catch to save possession. She actually competes in a different sport at an extremely high level outside of Ultimate Frisbee. Last year, she was an Xterra triathlon national champion, which is swimming, biking, running, mountain biking, trail running, really intense sport, really intense competition, and she's bringing that athleticism to both that sport and to Ultimate. It's a real pleasure to see her out here in this Masters division. She's been away from Frisbee for a few years, but Americans happy to have her on their squad as they look for their first D break as they go downwind. That's Dominique Fontenette on the pole. Now they come with a zone look, a little 4-player cup. That's Alicia White on the point marking. Canadians happy to take the throws they're being given. Kind of a forced middle look. You see the points wrapping around, not giving anything up the middle, only allowing throws for losses of yardage. Now they're looking to break through, but they can't get the continue. Not moving quick enough, and the Americans are out. Looking like they're, thought they were in transition, just slow to catch up. Nice little flick over the top. That's Trotsky Boisvert. She shoots upfield for Davio. And the rain really starting to come down now as they have finally transitioned into one-on-one defense. Disc on the far sideline. Oh, and it just in and out of the hands of Marie-Eve Robert. It's a good pass, but a little bit low near her knees. That disc coming in hot from Julie Landry. Finding Alicia White, fakes the backhand, opens up a little space underneath for Fontenette. Now out to Casey. Can't find her cutters, they're open, but mistimed communication there. Out wide to Baker again. She's gonna look for Casey. Nice touch on that disc. We hear some thunder now. We're not seeing any signals from the advisors. We haven't seen lightning ourselves, but there is a crackle of thunder in the sky. And that disc looks like, as it came out of Alicia Barr's hand, maybe she got a little bit of contact there from number 33, Strotsky Boisvert. A little bit of discussion on the play. Looks like the call has been rescinded. It's a turnover for USA squad. Canada with another chance to hold.
So USA again coming out with this zone. I actually think Canada handled this very well in the last possession. They were just unfortunate. And a lovely scuba there from Landry. Number 33, some big fakes. Around to 28, LeMay. LeMay resets. Boisvert, high release. Opening up the field for Team Canada. Fisher, and through the middle. Canada really not struggling with this zone, I wouldn't say. Able to find some gaps. And if not, they'll go over the top. And there we go, a bit of play-by-play for Boisvert. Straight down the middle to Landry. Landry continues. Davio, gonna get it back. Oh, but tries to catch it at the leading edge and just plays D on it instead. America now with a chance to break as the rain really starts pelting down. Players now rushing to cover their bags. But USA hucking it straight away. Canada now short field. I'd imagine, yep, USA have gone person-to-person defense. Boisvert on the disc. Takes a down the line shot to LeMay. LeMay pinned in, but Boisvert opens up for the goal. And the hold for Canada. Oh no, it's been called out. Disc back in. Boisvert stuck on the end zone line. And the rain is coming down really hard now, and there we see slippy disc syndrome. A drop in the end zone for Canada. But there's been a call. It's just an injury for number 28, Isabelle LeMay. And the crowd's now all starting to leave the stands, apart from the very dedicated. There's a couple USA fans in the front few stalls. USA stepping up to the plate to get this break. A high release backhand immediately picked out by Boisvert. Swings to 51. Fisher high and around. Brought down by number. Can't see, she's celebrating way too hard. 23, Julie Davio.
That's an incredible catch. Really incredible display of athleticism, getting up over her defender, ripping it down, and after a couple of points of fairly clean back and forth offense, kind of a longer point there, as the rain really starting to come into effect. We've seen a lot of this week. We had a lot of games canceled yesterday due to torrential rains and flooding here at the complex. were able to open up a couple of fields kind of one by one to get through quarterfinals all day. Yesterday, did a good job by the organizers to get those games done before nightfall. And now, even the most dedicated are all starting to head out under their umbrellas, finding some trees, finding some tents. And it's chilly. Temperature has dropped a couple of degrees as that disc flies down from the Canadians. It lands inbounds. Oh, that'll go over to Kat Rathcliffe, and the Canadians with a zone of their own. Little 4-person trapping zone look. Want to get it off this sideline. Out to Ambler. She finds Lambert. Little hammer over the top for Rathcliffe. Gives the Americans the swing. They really need to get away and back to that high side. This trap is not where you want to be stuck. Ambler looking for the deep look, but fakes the huck over the top. Back to Stern. Now swinging to Rathcliffe. Good job, good patient movement. Hammer to Lynn. And now Ambler and Lynn are moving the disc. This time with the scuba, it'll work. And Stern finding Chow, far sideline. Clancy with the disc. Oh, and Lynn catches it and turns to look upfield to make the throw. Just slips out of her hands. So this, a big chance for Canada's D-line. Get this downwind break. Moving up the middle now. That's Berkowitz. Has a receiver, makes an amazing catch around a bidding Lynn. Back to Berkowitz. And she's going to look across the field for Fisher. Oh, but that disc, she can't get it both over her defender and sitting up for her receiver, and the Americans now on the attack, not letting that zone set up. Quick movement, Lambert on the far side. But tired legs, everyone behind the disc. And Rathcliffe now swings wide to Lynn. Can't continue to Lambert, and now she will. Oh, but a little touch on the disc there from Oscar Collier will give them the disc, and Berkowitz putting it straight away. Oh, Rathcliffe can't make up the play. That's the bookends. But we have a player down for America with an injury on this near sideline. Lambert went down, not sure if that was, she was on the mark on Berkowitz. The disc will come back. That was a really lovely shot, giving Oscar Collier the chance to get the bookends, reward her for her hard defensive work, but it will come back. Alicia White has subbed in and is now on the mark. Americans forcing flick. Berkowitz trying to get off the sideline. Stall is high. Oh, and elevating over the top, that is Rebecca McPherson in a pack of bodies that all went up. Her hand rose above, and that is the first time the Canadians will jump out, extending their lead to 4-2. And the Americans are going to do well to take a time out there and regroup a little bit.
Yeah, what a grab there by number 3. Over 3 or 4 American defenders. High stall out situation. It's almost what we train when we all learn how to play. Get a high stall, just get rid of it. And luckily for her, her receiver was underneath it. Megan, what do you think USA coach will be talking to his players about now in this timeout?
I think the coaching staff here of Jit and Liz Penny, I think, will be wanting to settle his players down. As you mentioned, in their run-up into this finals, they were more or less untested. We thought they were going to have a close game with Japan. That turned out to be a blowout. And so they haven't had many opportunities of being behind. But every single one of these players has played in a big game before. These are incredibly experienced women with world championship titles, national championship titles, both in college and in club. There are at least 2 Callahan winners on this line. They all understand what it's like to play in big game pressure. And at this level, it's all about digging deep, not listening to the aches and pains that your body is feeling after a week of playing, and finding that mental fortitude to do the things that the little things right. It's doing the little things right. It's communicating with your teammates. It's taking that extra step to create separation. It's taking that extra moment on the throw to focus in. The weather is exciting, if unpleasant, for the spectators. We've got a tent, so we are just able to enjoy the conditions. Makes for high drama ultimate.
We've just seen the forlorn figure of Brian Jones just wandering down the sideline. He doesn't even need to be on the sideline. He could just be in the tent. But, you know, he loves a bit of rain. And now we're back in with USA on offense. Casey on the disc. And Canada have come out with person defense after a few points of zone. Oh, and a slip there from number 4. Clancy takes up the open shot on the Canadian defender, number 3, McPherson, showing how fierce she can really be getting that D. And Canada now with an opportunity for yet another break. 20 picking up, that's Helene O'Day. O'Day down the line. Keeps it in. Berkowitz getting it back. Doesn't like the down the line option. Goes in the middle to 17. Boudet. Across the line to Julia Murray. Murray. Stationary. Now looks to reset. Berkowitz. Back to Murray. Goes down the line. Berkowitz, power position, and but dropped in the goal. Number 3 again, McPherson. Couldn't quite keep her mitts on it. And America now looking to hold this offensive line.
So no double happiness for McPherson on that possession. Americans on the shot going deep right away. That will not connect.
So Canada will reset back on this halfway line. You can see Berkowitz picking up with Murray. Far as a third handler, it's a Hostak. Murray comes and gets it. Looks to swing, and does, but a great bid and defensive block there for number 19, Lisa White. Now we're all the way down the line. Fontanet centres. Back on the other sideline with 13. Ratcliffe, huge fakes, takes the inside. And there's another inside for the goal for Gwen Ambler, the Riot star. And right now, USA stars all over the stripes of this field.
See what you did there, David. Great grittiness that point. You love to see that in your player. When a player like Alicia White has someone get a run through D on her, a few possessions later, you can expect to see her repay the favor, and she does in kind that time, getting the best of her matchup with McPherson and giving the Americans the disc back. They hold after an exciting point and trail now by 1. They're down 3-4 to this Canadian squad. This Canada squad is made up mostly of women who play for the club team Vintage in Canada. They actually met these Americans in 2014 in Lecco in the finals. It was mostly a Lady Godiva-based team, and Vintage getting the better of them in that final. So last time they met, kind of in an international competition, Canadians did come out on top, but like we said, the last time it was a WUGC event, it was the Americans who were on the gold podium for the medal ceremony, and there was an offsides call, so Americans will have another chance to pull. Rain lightening up a little bit, still a little breezy. Still an exciting game.
Welcome to British Summer number 3 for this weekend. We've had a lot of rain, but these fields not doing too badly over here. But as we've been streaming the last day and a half on 4 and 5, they've managed well, but 1 and 2 have had to be saved till now, luckily.
It wouldn't be so bad if it was just raining, but the rain, then sun, then back to rain really plays with your emotions.
We're used to it, but we live here. Anyway, Canada fighting against this American zone. La Tendresse across to Fisher. Fisher gets into the left sideline but gets it straight back again. Fisher on the disc. Goes back to Boisvert. Boisvert fakes. He takes on La Tendresse. Swing to Davio. Davio looks upfield. Oh, and a lovely little scuba there to La Tendresse. Down the middle. Oh, tapped to court by Kidd. Kidd resets to Fisher. Fisher goes all the way high and around. Oh, but unable to be caught. I think that's Davio. But a foul call has been made on the end zone line. Yeah, that's Julie Davio making that call.
From your vantage point, like 7 inches above where I am, do you think that she got hit before the disc was in and out of her hands? Did that impact the play?
From my unbiased opinion, I think the disc went in and out of her hands, then she was initiating contact. The call has been uncontested, and she gets the goal. Can't quite see who the streaking Canadian player was. Got a wonderful little short pass into the goal there. It's number 4, Sarah Kidd, who got that goal. And that makes it 5-3 to Canada. The rain here has slowed down a bit. Looks like most of the downpour has stopped. So a few spectators are hiding under a tree, the far right end zone. A few very dedicated fans are still in these stands. And some of the fans here are shouting out for Alicia White as their hero. She is doing a fantastic job out there. Surrounded by teammates of the past and present in Fury. They're here on the field. Gwen Ambler from Riot. Fakes. Goes inside. Chow to Baker. Baker goes deep. Will she make it? Yes, she does! A fantastic bid. Didn't look like she was anywhere near it, and under a lot of pressure from Jules Murray. What a goal! For Sally Lambert. Truly didn't think she was going to get to it, and she had a lot of pressure from Murray, using the rain to her advantage and sliding to scoop the disc up for the goal. Megan, what are your thoughts?
I think that's an incredible play. I think for any young players out there who are watching this game, that is so inspiring, and when you're learning how to lay out, it's all about getting over that fear, and that's the first part. And the second part is getting over the idea that you're not going to get there. If you just believe that every single disc that's in the air is something you can catch it. And I think we saw that there from Sally Lambert. Getting it done with an impossible grab gives the Americans within a point of the Canadians. They trail 4-5 in this Women's Masters final. move. Flipping it out quickly. Kind of a different look now from the Americans. It's man, but a little bit of sagging in the lanes off of those handlers. A little bit of switching. Canadians moving the disc quickly, so haven't been able to find anyone upfield though because of this wall of three, and now they get past and now they're off to the races. That's Kidd with the disc. Oh, but she can't connect with Arsenal. That's Wilson for the Americans. The lefty out of Atlanta. Doesn't see anything she likes. It's like there's conversation about the mark. With perhaps conversation about disc space. Disc will be coming in on 4. US looking for a break here to even things up. Now out wide to Chow. She shoots ahead. Finds Ladone. Moving now quickly back to Chow, who will look for the backhand. That is Alicia White, evening it up. That is a big break for Team USA. We see her partner, Opie Payne, all smiles, all dancing, all cheering on the sideline. She's out here watching this game even as she prepares for her finals of her own tomorrow. Team USA women secured a bid to the championship game. They'll be taking on Colombia, who stormed past Japan earlier this morning in the women's division. We'll be bringing you all those games live from Allianz Stadium. But for now, the action is on pitch 2 here at Watford Football Club. We're tied up at 5s. Canada looking for a hold. Oh, and Crystal Davis denies it with the hand block. And just like that, Americans in sniffing distance of pulling ahead with this lead. It's Davis on the sideline. She gets it around to DeZono. Shooting forward, not quite in yet. Can't get the disc off, and now it'll swing out to Casey. And back to Wilson. Can the lefty hit it? Oh, it's too far for her intended receiver, Genevieve LaRoche. But coming down with it is Alden Fletcher. Second attempt grab. And that's 6-5. USA takes the lead over Canada as the sun comes out, and Canadians, a little bit stunned, we're going to take a timeout. David, do you think the Americans did anything differently for that little run, or did luck just kind of go their way?
They just got tighter, both upfield and around the force, able to take out. Excuse me, able to take out what the Canadians wanted, and maybe a little lack of focus as well from the Canadians, giving that disc to the Americans in the short field.
We saw some powerful rain early in this game, but British summer is a fickle mistress, and we're back out with sun and blue sky. The gray clouds are passing over. And the wind also has died down, so perhaps not as much an upwind downwind game as when we began. Americans want to stay sharp out of this timeout, and Canada needing to ramp up the focus, dial it in. Masters team is secured a bid to the finals game from their country. The mixed team lost a short while ago to Australia mixed Barramundi, and the women are actually next door to us playing in the third place game against Japan, who fell, as we mentioned, to Colombia earlier this morning. So they're trying to hold it down for their country, and they'll get another shot at offense right here. But high pressure forces a looping throw. Oh no! The layout, greatest attempt. David Price says that was insane, and I have to agree, but Crystal Davis on the end for the D. Lauren Casey to pick up. Oh, but Thrasher gets it right back to Team Canada. They're gonna need to settle things down just a little bit here.
Let's go.
That's Fisher, who will walk slowly, calming down her teammates. Fletcher providing the necessary pressure. Now out wide. Oh, and Crystal Davis gets the layout. Canadians saying that there was contact happened right in front of our tent, and it looked like Davis shot the gap, got her hand cleanly on the disc. Between the thrower and Laverne, she's, after a little bit of discussion, is going to rescind the call. I think that's the right outcome there. And USA will take over at midfield, looking for 2 breaks in a row. DeZono on the disc. Oh, trying to find the backhand break. Oh, and she toes it in. Now Davis, back to DeZono. Reset coming from Matthews. Now to Davis. To Fletcher. Holding in the middle. Wanted that IO. Oh, and Davis springs free yet again. Can she hit her on the give go? Alden Fletcher, that's her second goal in a row. America's second break in a row. They jump out ahead by 2, 7-5. And Canada not able to come out of the timeout, getting what they needed. Thoughts, David Price?
As always, ultimate is a game of runs. Canada took an early lead in this game. The USA not giving up, fighting their way back into it, and able now to be a leader and in a position to take half as well. I don't think this game's over. It's very exciting, and that greatest attempt is just wonderful. I didn't even know she was that close to the sideline. I thought she was just going to catch it. And if she'd just been able to get a bit more on it, it might have come back into the field and carried on the possession.
But I don't know how you even practice for that, let alone pull it off in a game of this caliber. Yeah, so much wow. You have to have the body control, presence of mind, and it came out perfectly flat. It was incredible. So Canada looking to steady the ship here. Bring it back within 1. The pull comes down. It's Fisher. Out to La Tendresse. Finding Prescott Gagnon. And they're moving the disc well, but some picks created there in the middle, clogging things up a little bit for this Canadian offense. I like this totally new line of USA defenders. Get some fresh legs out there. Still holding in the middle for Fisher. Oh, and Alicia White! That's her second block this game. Sidelines are loving it. That's Ewan, out to Lynn. And now Stern. Woo! Bid by Canada, but can't get the disc off the sideline even as Prescott Gagnon came flying in there. He's on the ground. The disc will stay with Tanya Shank. Disc tapped in. Can't find Stern around. Oh, Fletcher breaks free, even in double coverage. Oh, and now just running over her defender. That's Rachel Bradshaw. Incredible speed. Now Lynn looping around. Can she reward White? Oh, she can. Alicia White's name is stamped all over this game so far. That's bookends for her. And the half for the USA. For what looked like things weren't going in their favor early on. Down a little bit, not playing the most crisp offense. Things have really changed rapidly as they take half, 8-5. Any thoughts, David, before we go into half?
Yeah, just like I said in the previous point, I don't think this game is over. Far from it. Canada came out very strong, taking a couple breaks off the USA. USA coming back and doing exactly the same. I guess in the team talk now, Team Canada will want to find that ferocity they came into the game with, so they can do the same in the second half, and get it back to evens. America just want to continue this momentum. So half volley isn't going to do them any favors, as often teams come out quite flat, but for them they're going to need to focus. Both teams battling out for this championship game.
We'll be back with live coverage of the Women's Masters Final over here on Field 4. Field 2, JKLOL, in 5 minutes.
I'm Michael Banghart. I was born and raised in Lansing, Michigan. I started playing guts. My first tournament was when I was 9 years old. My father played in the 70s, and it was this huge event. Frisbee tournaments were massive, and we've since fallen off a bit, but we're on the rise. And so that's how I got into it, all things sports. He was a terrific ultimate player as well. So I'd say my first love was ultimate, because there is a competitive spirit in me that needs to be shown, and I've become quite skilled with the Frisbee, and that competitive nature doesn't show up in disc golf. In ultimate, it's shared by 7 people, but the intensity doesn't reach the level that I've found in guts. It's unlike any other disc sport in that you will be best friends before the first shot's thrown, to worst enemies during the game, to best friends after the last point. And guts players have this uncanny ability to leave it on the field, to not let it bleed into other aspects. And it's maybe the hard-headedness, but we're able to turn it on and off, which is nice. You either go after the weak shot or the weak D. Now, if there's a team that is full of firepower, you know, no matter who you hit, you're getting a hot shot back, you go after the weak defense. Now, if you're playing a team that has terrific defense and a few good shots, you go after maybe the best defender on the team, but he has the worst shot. And that's what's fascinating about guts, is that you can't be a master of only one technique, of one aspect of the game. You have to be a dual threat, otherwise you become the target. The thing about ultimate, and that I think is lost on the viewer to guts, is awareness of where everyone is. Now, having instinct on what the person you're throwing to is going to do next, when they're going to make that cut, how deep that break is going to be, actually applies to guts Frisbee. Because on the line, you need to know where your team will be moving. So on initial contact, I need to trust that my end man will be flying on a counterclockwise spin. And so I can put that disc up and have faith that someone will be back there. And knowing where they are relative to what shot's coming in is very similar to ultimate, and knowing what your teammate will be doing. To represent the United States of America is, well, for a third time. is something I never thought was possible. The only thing I would change is if my father could be here and share with me this experience. So to represent the country is amazing, but there's a little something extra because he can't be here. I want more than anything to win it for him. That quote, when a ball dreams, it dreams it's a Frisbee. When I dream of Frisbee. So WUGC Frisbee to me is a dream that's been realized. It's a sport that if I could have created, I wouldn't change a thing. Like if it was up to me, I'd keep it the same. It's a sport that has been just inspirational to me. It's been something I can turn to. It's a community that I can rely on. And it's also allowed me to travel. I mean, WUGC Frisbee to me is a dream come true.
Welcome back to second half action from London. We're here at the Watford Football Complex, bringing you live coverage of the WUGC Women's Masters Final. Story of the first half, kind of a little bit back and forth. We had an outburst of rain, made things a little bit messy here for a few moments, a few points, and then the U.S. just applying pressure and converting a couple of quick ones to jump out to take half 8-5. They lead this team Canada by 3, and they start out receiving. What do you hope to see here from Canada's defense to get a break back? David Price, who I'm commentating with.
I think they should try and mix up a bit. We saw a lot of man from Canada in that last half, and actually USA brought out a really nice zone look that applied pressure and got them a few turns. The wind has died, however I think Canada might try and do something a bit different, pull out a zone of their own, but for now Canada looking to hold. LeMay on the disc, gets it over to Fisher. Kind of deep from the Canadians, but eventually 2 players coming back. Kidd on the disc. Back to Boyver. Boyver centers. Oh, no, just moving now smoothly down that far side. Inside. Kidd to Boyver. Boyver fakes and breaks. Goes and gets it back. Carries on the swing. Robert doesn't like Boyver's reset. It goes inside and it's just a bit too far inside. So USA pick it off. Clancy with the D. Angela Lynn swings to no one. Canada now on the halfway mark, still seeking this hold. Fisher takes her time, now picking up. Fisher fakes down the line, eventually the C's 28, LeMay. LeMay again down the line for Boyver, but a pick has been called. Just been greeted by the physios, going crazy on USA women here. We see Sarah Griffiths and Jorgensen here. Kayla Jorgensen just chatting away to the physios, but back on the field. Davio gets it to Kidd. Sarah Kidd Swings it straight back to Davio, who continues. So Fisher, Blady and high, brought down by 32. Marie-Eve Robert, but I think she's been called out. Megan?
Hard to see from here. Is a really great catch. It looked like it was going to sail over her head, and at the last moment gets her right hand out, catching that kind of trailing edge, but the out of bounds call coming. And so America, second chance to break at this point. Oh, we see a little bit of a Z look here from Canada's O-line.
I think a foul has been called on the throw, but it definitely looked like a bit of a stray pass there back into the end zone.
So the foul call will bring it back to Lynn. As you mentioned, David, a different look here. Oh, but she's gonna go over the top. Really lovely forehand, and Davis getting up for that. Now Wilson, the lefty, finds Clancy out wide. Nice continuation from LaRoche. And now Lynn looks for the quick shot to Davis. Just like that, they go 70 and extend this lead by 4, making it 9-5. I like that look there from Canada. They kind of come out, it's a little bit poachy, a little bit zony, trying to do something different, trying to pin the Americans back. But Lynn just using that, reaching into that toolbox, finding that looping forehand over to Davis, who gets up big to maintain possession. And this game a little bit running away from Canada now. First point out of half. They're down by 4. We've got lots of time to play. Sun is out. There are minimal clouds, minimal wind. And I think, I hear from Evan Lepler that there is a lurking cloud to the other side of us. Oh yeah, I see it now. It is dark and gloomy. So for now, we've got some fair weather, but may not have it for long. That's Dominique Fontenette with the spin pull. And that's 28 to collect. Now the disc with Berkowitz, playing against this 4-person zone with the figure of Alicia White on the mark. Not finding a way to gain many yards yet, and now the throw up through, and they're quickly on the move for Team Canada. That's Fisher. Great movement on the sideline there with Asuka Collier. Now Berkowitz, wants the deep look, but reels it in. They're now transitioned out to man. Person defense. Berkowitz breaking free. A little bit of miscommunication about who's marking whom. Really nice break throw. Finds Asuka Collier. Back to Berkowitz. She's got a cannon on her, and really nice pass out to space at 77. Roderick running onto that disc hard, even under pressure from Ambler. So that's exactly what Canada needed. Get the hold, get a little confidence, play, no turn point there, and then let your D-line go to work. So you didn't want to count Canada out of this early. Do you still feel that way with the score what it is now?
Yeah, I don't ever want to discount a North American team. I think that both Canada and the USA have very strong determinism and a very good mental game, able to come back into games even 3, 4, 5 down. We've seen it in the past, and I'm sure and hope that we'll see it here.
So this North American matchup, kind of a preview to the next game we'll be streaming. The men's Masters final will also be Team Canada versus Team USA on this field in the next round. We see some of them starting to filter in, come into the tent to get some physio work as they start warming up. But for now, the action. Nice IO pull from Jules Murray. It's going to allow the Canadian defense to get down on the disc. No first pass for Team USA, and now finding White. Little bit of poaching. And now back to Stru and to White. Oh my goodness. Salvia can't come up with the disc as Asuka Koye gets the huge layout block, and now can she make the catch? Oh, she can't, but she's going to call a foul on Alden Fletcher, who kind of snuck in there. That was Collier getting the huge D and then streaking for the goal. She lays out, gets a hand on it. I think she's saying that there was some contact from Fletcher that caused her to drop that, but after, oh, excuse me, there's no foul call, just an injury. And Team Canada will bring in Julie Daviau to fill in for the injured Asuka Collier. Disc in with a tap there from Fletcher, and Gwen Ambler will walk the disc up. USA's cutter's very short right now. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a deep look right away given their starting positions. And we do see Salvia going, and Ambler puts it up. It's floating. Oh, and Salvia, despite the pressure there, the tip from her 84 Delisle gets her hand on it. It's back with Ambler. She's gonna swing to Sturt and goes with that kind of classic hammer look from her. Fontanet gets two hands on it, but a drop. Kind of a squandered opportunity for the US. The disc back in the hands of Canada with Jules Murray. And now US look a little bit loose on these marks. Oh, but an overthrown disc will give Dom the chance to get her D back, and she does. Fletcher finding her reset, and Sturt goes again with the hammer. Such a fun throw. Salvia fires with the inside forehand. Now finding White in the middle of the field. Reset to Ambler. Can't find the continue. Good pressure. Need to activate in the handler set, and now finding Fletcher. She comes all the way into the backfield. She'll shoot upfield for Dominique Fontanet. And looking, can she drop the dime? And we get to call Alicia White's name yet again for Team USA. Love this from Dom. Drop the hammer, come back, get the D, throw the goal. Alicia White all over this game. That's 10-6, USA up, despite a good chance there for Canada's D-line.
Kind of doing well to get the disc, but I think they've lost some of their want to score. They weren't able to quite get firing, and maybe Collier could have got that disc in the end zone, but unfortunately unable to secure the goal and the break that they need. I think they just need to find some of that fire. Like I said at the end of the second half, they need to find some fire and get back to that defense where they're shutting down the upfield options. And we had a little glimpse of it in that second possession of Team USA's. They didn't have many options upfield, and they were so far deep that they were just unable to continue. They were just swinging back and forth. But eventually Ambler unlocking the upfield, and Fontanet with a very nice assist for the hold. Canada now looking to do the same, hold their offense and try and get their D-line back out. Latendresse onto this near sideline. Bit of a different D look now from the USA. Looks like they're sagging off the open handler. They want them to swing and reset. They're very tight upfield. And a lot, as Megan suggests, a lot of switching going on around the handlers. So Fisher now doesn't see much upfield, so as the Americans want, has to swing it. And there we go, that might have unlocked it. Not quite. Latendresse wants a deep option to stretch the field. Puts it back. Boy there. Bit of a high stall, but gets out. Latendresse to Fisher. Fisher up over the top. Left hand dress through the needle, and there we go. We're on a jailbreak. Kidd. Fisher, Kidd. Back to Fisher. We're up to halfway. Boy there. Down the, oh, and a point block, I think. If not, a throwaway. Is that Ladon? Ladone doing a great job on the mark. I think they had transitioned into person defense, and now the USA looking for yet another break. Oh, but the disc just too low, and now Canada on the end zone line. Tosses it in. Oh, almost a risky throwaway, but Sarah Kidd locks it in for a goal.
It's a great bid there for that disc, trying to maintain possession. Angela Lynn, but kind of a disadvantageous roll off of the bid gives Canadians the disc on the goal line. Quick flip, and as we mentioned, the sunshine may have been short-lived as we see a little bit of drizzle starting to rain down again. We're at 10-7. Canadians finding that hold, bringing the American lead within 3. It'll be Jules Murray to pull for Team Canada in hunt of a break here. Getting on in this second half. Come down to Arlie Stern. She hits Baker in the middle. A little bit of an isolation look from the Americans, but can't find the continuation. Gonna go to Lambert in the middle of the field. Now back to Baker. Chow got freed up, a lot of yards for her. Now Clancy going. Can the lefty backhand come off for Clancy? And no, it's gonna be D'd up by Alexa Laverne, but Chow is calling the foul. Looked like she had to go around Jules Murray to get the throw off. And I think Murray is going to argue here that the contact happened on the follow through. And while we've got a little bit of discussion on the field, we've got some news for Canadian fans back home. Canadian women have taken the bronze medal next door to us in the third place game with a decisive 15-6 win over Japan. It took just 62 minutes. They'll bring home gold for Canada, and their masters in the hunt as well. Sorry, bronze. Sorry, I said gold, meant bronze. Now, Kath Radcliffe on the goal line for USA. Oh, and Lambert did well to continue her cut there. She'd been well defended to the corner by Beaudet, and then finds that little IO look. Kath Radcliffe reaching around, finding that inside-out backhand. That's going to be 11-7. Americans maintain their 4-point lead. No break yet in the second half for Team Canada. And the rain starting to come down for the second time during this game.
Oh, by the way, it's raining again. just in case you weren't sure. We've had some sun. I don't know, maybe we'll get some snow. Maybe that's the next thing to happen. But either way, this game, it's been a thriller so far. USA coming down. Now person defense, but upfield, they're poaching. So 32 on the disc, now to 23, Davio. Davio to LeMay. LeMay across all the way to Leton. Oh, sorry, got behind myself. 51, that's Fisher. So here's a bit of a junky set, zoney set, 2-3-2. Oh, and well picked out there for 23, Davio. Swings across to Robert. They've now gone to person. Letendres gets around to Fisher. Fisher takes the inside, the lefty shot, will she bid? She does, but it's just a bit too late, the disc flying away from her.
And I think that's not the way she wanted that disc to come out. She went for the IO look, but it tailed out of her hands at the last second and got that kind of invert edge on it instead. That's really hard, making it really hard for her receiver. And another Canadian turn gives the disc back to Team USA.
White, possibly the name we've said the most so far in this game. Goes inside. Oh, but unfortunately throws straight into the arms of Arsenault. White now on the force on Fisher. Fisher looks sideways. Doesn't like what she's given by Latendres. It takes the dinky reset. Ooh, and eventually gets over to Kidd. USA very tight. 28, LeMay. Across to Fisher. Seeing a lot of Fisher on offense, and here comes the rain. LeMay to Fisher. Oh, by the way, it's raining. In case you've forgotten. Fisher still on the disc. Far sideline, pinned in. Gets it across to Latendres. Not much movement upfield, but eventually Kidd. Oh, and just that disc flew over her head. She wasn't able to rein it in. And USA with another chance to break. They take a swing. Now into the middle. Oh, and a misplaced huck, giving Canada the disc straight back. Fisher looks upfield. They're just still trying to sort their structure out, so not able to get any cuts going. But eventually, Kidd gets free. Kidd. Oh, and a great defensive play there by Rachel Bradshaw. Neither team appearing to want to score. The sudden oncoming of rain stopping both of them, proving me right straight away. The huck too short.
And I think Team Canada's offense looks tired. There's no motion downfield. Handlers are looking up and looking at people standing still. If any cuts are happening, they're happening late in the stall count, so not able to do anything but be reactive. You see no downfield options. Handlers slow to give the reset. That'll center back to Latendres in the middle. Around wide to LeMay. Back to Fisher. Still doesn't see much upfield. Handlers having to do all the disc movement and getting an antsy, takes the shot. Latendres just wanted to get the disc out of that backfield space, and Fletcher comes up with another D. There's a lot of tired legs out here on this field. I think everyone except Alicia White, who we expect to see do great things the rest of this point. Finding Bradshaw now underneath. Out wide to Matthews. Nice pass there by McDowell, and she unleashes one. Great speed from White. She comes from behind her defender, beats her to the space, and gets there early enough to even box out. And she brings in yet another USA break. That's 5 points. They're out in front of Canada, 12-7. Kind of a heartbreaker. You can see Canada not sure what to do here. Slowly walking back to the line. You know, I think the best teams, when they get scored on a number of times in a row, are still able to regroup, get together, hands held high, maybe a little bit of clapping, maybe a little dancing. But out here in the rain, down by 5, Team Canada, they look a little sad and a little wet, and I think they're going to need to find that energy that David's been talking about. If they have any hope of clawing their way back into this game. It's gotten busy here in our tent as the rain has come down. We're kind of being surrounded by volunteers and spectators.
It's kind of fun, kind of cozy. USA really stifling Canada's play here, not letting them take the options they want and forcing them to miss throw. But Canada now getting up to the halfway mark. Roderick takes the deep shot. Oh, and brought down. Fantastic grab under pressure. Or number something. Number 3, Rebecca McPherson, showing how fierce she can really be.
She'd been making some huge plays for Team Canada early in the first half, went out with an injury, and now we have her back in the game. It's not easy to make a play like that over Crystal Davis. She's incredibly tall, fast, springy defender. And for those of you at home on the stream, yes, it did just stop raining, and yes, the sun did just come out. It's a little bit random.
It's just Britain. I'm going to blame Brexit for this one. That's why the weather's so bad. It just decided it hates us just as much as we hate the result. By the way, I voted to remain, just in case you weren't sure.
If anyone does need a rain poncho, there are lots of rain ponchos available for sale in the green ski tent. They're not expensive. If you do need some extra rain protection, we are expecting
And the pull coming down from Canada now. A little bit short, being picked up on this near sideline by Julie Baker. A 3-person zone look from Team Canada. And Davio playing kind of a flex on the point. Ambler finds the swing all the way across to Lambert. Moving quickly now, Ambler gets the reset. Oh, fun little scuba over the top to Chow. Lambert, Ratcliffe, fakes the hammer. We're in man or person defense now, and in that transition, that's number 77, Roderick, able to get free, get the block. Canada now on the move. Oh, and Jules Murray, I don't think he was expecting that. Bids a little bit late, gives it just right back. And that shoal hammer holding. Now finds LaRoche. It's Ratcliffe on the reset. And Lambert gets down, but there's a pick on the play. Nope, Team Canada. Seems, I think if this was a closer game, that sort of a pick call would stand and we'd talk about it. And I think given how this game is going, Canada happy to rescind that call, let the point stand.
I think they're almost kind of giving up a little bit. They're only, I mean, okay, they are 5 points behind. My math's failing. thought I saw a flash of lightning there, but that might have just been a flash from a photographer. Sorry, but continuing what I was saying, whilst they're only 5 points behind, they do seem to have gone a bit flat. Their sideline's a bit quieter now than they were when they started the game. And if they really want to get back into this final, they're going to have to pick it up, both verbally and on the field. USA knocking on the door of the gold medal, only 2 points away from taking the championship. So Fisher on the brick mark. Looks like USA have gone person defense. Laverne takes her time, gets it to Fisher. Fisher legs the deep shot, takes it on. Well read by USA. Oh, and I thought there was a second bid there for 14. Marjolaine Bourget. But Team USA doing just enough to push that out of the way. And now with a potential break, another for this half. Getting the disc into the middle, still in their own end zone. Angela Lynn, all the way across. Oh, not quite Callahan there. Not quite in for Canada. That was Asha Collier to Alexa Laverne. Couldn't quite see that here, sorry we were behind, but well played there by Asha Collier. Able to pick out the pass from USA across the end zone and just loft it into the end zone for the goal.
So not dead yet. Back by 4. USA needs 2 points to close out this game and clinch the gold medal. This World Ultimate Championship. So we mentioned earlier today that these two teams last met each other in Sakai in 2012 in the Women's Masters final, and USA took home gold there. However, there were only 1 or 2 players on this USA team that were on that team in 2012. These players are mostly based out of the Bay Area, a lot of Fury alumni, as well as a handful of pickups from across the country. So for a lot of these players out here, this will be their first gold medal in the women's division, in the Masters women's division. Now Julie Baker with the disc finds Ambler. Doesn't like what she sees upfield. Has to put it. Can Alicia White get it? She has it. No mark. Could look into the end zone, and now Canada closes. Finds Baker on the far sideline. Oh, and over the top to Chow, but huge deep. It's McPherson again. She's not ready to give up the battle on this game. It's her second layout block. Off of that cheeky little scuba look from Baker. We'll give Canada the disc. Oh, and Chow can't get the poach D back. Canada will hold on the far sideline. Quick movement now, that's Berkowitz. Low pass. She finds Pauline Cadavio. Oh, but maybe a little too fast. And Lambert wanted the quick score, but Rathcliffe taking her time. Finds Baker in the middle. Swinging around to Ambler. And now up line to Baker, oh, huge bid. Maintains possession, Julie Baker, and that IO opening everything up for USA's offense. Finding Lambert, flip out to Ratliff. Doesn't have a reset, has to go over the top. Oh, and that's Rodrigue with yet another goal line stand for Canada. 2 times USA down on that cone, 2 times try to go with the break, and 2 times come up short. Canada still alive, have to go the 70.
Canada really showing their mettle with 2 goal line stands. They really don't want the USA to get into within 1 point. And now they're working up the field. Oh, what a bit of a floaty disc. Will Fish, yep. And 84 comes down with it. Delisle, Murray. To 3, McPherson. Back to Berkowitz. Berkowitz takes the reset to Fisher. Sorry, Aldo. Down the line to Rodrigue. Doesn't like the around shot, but gets the force moving. And a pick has been called. No, a violation, sorry. Rodrigue is back in. Couple fakes. And goes down the line. And Berkowitz pulls it out of the bag. Keeps Canada in this game, 13-10.
That's Canada's first break of the second half. And what an impressive break it was. 2 goal line stands. And then finishing off the play with that incredible bid by Berkowitz. I think US is going to take a second to take a timeout, catch a breather. They need to find 2 points here to close out this game. Canada needs to find a way to get to 5 before that happens. If they have any hope of placing gold on the medal stand. So Team Canada puts out the same line that earned that break, looking for another one. Gonna have Jules Murray on the pole for the Canadians. As the pole goes up, the wind starts to swirl a little bit. The Americans will be heading slightly upwind as they look for this hold. To center to Baker. And we have a kind of a junky, poachy flat look on the handlers for Canada. Just got wide to White. Finding Lambert, quickly back to Baker. Will shoot deep, immediately looking for VY Chow. Oh, and she runs onto it easily. And that's a quick hold for the Americans. It looked like one of the Canadian defenders, number 77, Rodrigue, had pulled off of Clancy, trying to get that help D. on Chow, but Chow just too much speed, doesn't even have to lay out, hauls it in and then calmly finds the upfield pass to Clancy. It's really nice, clean offense to bring the Americans within 1. They lead Team Canada 14-10.
Megan, do you see Canada being able to go on a run now, or does it feel like the momentum is in the hands of the USA?
I don't feel like Canada has enough players who are making big plays right now to have the comeback happen. I feel like we see a lot of great stuff coming out of McPherson and Berkowitz and Roderick, and I think that the rest of Team Canada needs to find a way to match their intensity and match their speed, and right now I'm not seeing that out of the rest of the squad. And I think a comeback of this many points is unlikely unless you can get your whole team behind it.
So Canada now really fighting against it. Arsenault looks for her reset. Eventually, Latendresse getting free. Very isolated deep with only one. Oh, and overthrows Fisher. And will USA take this opportunity to clinch gold? All the way now across here with Fletcher. Fletcher takes on the center option. A White. All the way across. Not really making any yards yet, USA. They've only thus far swung from one sideline to the other. Still on that far sideline. Eventually now we see some yards, but Alicia White unable to rein that one in. Disc down. Canada now taking their time to pick up. LeMay with the big gainer to Davio. Davio to the end zone. Oh, and a huge bid by Carolyn Matthews. I think she's going to have to take an injury because that is going to hurt.
That was filthy.
And she's being subbed for Gwen Ambler. Not a terrible switch there. I think if I had that choice, I would make that choice.
Yeah, Jit's no fool.
So Ambler comes to tap it in. I imagine everything else is fine. So now USA, their second chance at this point to take the championship. Ambler picking up. Looks like they're in a 3-4 stack, horizontal stack. Lots of fakes from Ambler. Looks inside. Gets it to DeZono. DeZono. Point blocked, but a foul called uncontested. Very helpful there. Canadians using the hand signals. Back with DeZono. In our own end zone. A lovely cut there from number 19, Alicia White. Goes down the line. Huge gainer and a huck. Out into space. For number 15. Right on the end zone line. Resets. DeZono. Oh, and a pick has been called. All the players rushing through, causing that pick, but we can see a very nice stack actually set up now by Team USA. Alicia White in the reset position. DeZono knocking on the door. Disc hasn't been tapped in yet, and we're back in now. DeZono. Fakes. Resets. White gets it back to DeZono. Goes all the way around. Ambler ambles it into the goal. 15-10. That's the game. That's the championship. Team USA take their first gold of this week. Canada with the silver. Any remarks for that from that game, Megan?
Well, like you said, the sub, Gwen Ambler on that point, coming in and scoring the goal. She's one of the stars of this team, but I think it was the entire roster contributing from top to bottom. People getting layouts. We called Alicia White's name, but she wasn't the only one creating scoring opportunities for the Americans. The Canadians kind of looked outgunned, outclassed at times. Really, really strong finish from Team USA. David, I'm going to let you wrap it up a bit, and I'm going to go grab Liz Penny, the assistant coach to this now championship women's masters team.
So just on the field here, we can see other members of Team USA from the other divisions. I think that's some of the women and the mixed teams making a tunnel for the players to go through, and now they're doing their high fives and commiserating each other. And boy, it's a very great game to watch, very fun game to watch, thoroughly exciting. We'll now pass over to Megan to interview Liz Penny, one of the assistant coaches for Team USA.
So Liz, how did you come out preparing for this game against a Canadian team that you guys should have been pretty familiar with, expecting them to come out hard? What sorts of mental or tactical preparations did you go into this game having?
Well, one of our principles of sort of operation, particularly in the last 24 hours, has been to prepare the best for what you think is going to happen, but be prepared for the unexpected. We saw a lot of that today with the rain throwing us for some loops early in the game. We saw a lot of it in the last 24 hours with the change of schedule. So really doubling down on sort of a zero-mind state where we're prepared and able, ready, willing to say yes to whatever comes to us.
This team full of stars, incredible accolades from every one of your members, and it really seemed like this game was a performance of the entire roster, top down. Were there any players that stood out to you as having a particularly big impact on this game?
Oh gosh, so very many. It's really hard to pick out any names from our roster. The decades of experience and frankly, heroism is unparalleled. But one in particular for me is Arlie Stern. At the very end of her career and still at the peak of her game, able to handle getting open on anybody who's playing defense on her, able to play person-to-person defense well into her third decade of playing. Having a bunch of physical body changes, recently a bunch of injuries, and still just out there like a beast.
So last question, what does it mean to you, to this team, to come out here, bring all these amazing players, as you said, legends of the game together, and win gold? What has this journey been like, and what does this mean to this team and to all your fans back home in the U.S.?
Well, I think, for us, partly it's an opportunity, it's certainly for me, to study the game at every point in your own continuum. Your body changes, your mind changes, your teammates change. What you're hungry for, in fact, even changes, and what you're capable of certainly does shift over time. So I think to get a chance to study the game and study yourself and study how to generate power and momentum and win and tactic with a ever shifting set of tools is really the opportunity we saw here, I think.
Well, thanks, Liz. Congratulations so much to you guys. Enjoy the win. Enjoy this time together in London, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
So that concludes our coverage of the Women's Masters Final. Team USA bringing home gold. Team Canada the silver. Will continue coverage from pitch 2 with the Men's Masters Final. We'll have Evan Lepler. Just kidding. We'll have commentators and a stream up in just a few minutes for this next round. Thank you for watching our coverage here live from Watford Football Complex. We'll be back later today.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through Ultimate Frisbee clinics. Join us and speak up.